Hello, welcome back to Beauty Bee. Today we're going to do a Shop My Stash video. I do these roughly every 2 weeks. I gave myself an extra week between this one and the previous one because I had received some new makeup that I wanted to test out and sort of figure out how it fit into my routine. So, mission more or less accomplished. I shop my stash both for makeup as well as skincare, hair care, body care, jewelry, nail polish, a pretty wide variety of things. I don't necessarily choose one thing from every category each time around, but let's illustrate by showing what I pulled last time and how I used it. So let's actually start with jewelry. I have these sort of cool gold hoops. That's a terrible way to show you what these look like. They're a really nice size. I actually considered wearing them today, but I wanted to just keep everything a little bit more cool toned. They're very pretty. I had a hard time wearing them previously. I think in my closet I had maybe one item that I'd ever worn them with, and it was very much a winter item. But I think I wore these 4 or 5 times over the last 3 weeks. They're very cute. They are a little bit heavier than what I usually wear, but I didn't even notice that after probably a couple hours into the first day, and I really like them. I think I will get a lot more use out of these going forward. They're very cute. All right, let's see if I can find the other piece. Yep, it's in there. I wish that I'd done a little bit of a brighter job of picking my accessories this week because I don't feel like they really went together very well. I mean, these are just so much cooler and lighter and almost brighter than this necklace is, but I still managed to wear this, I would say, probably 3 times, which my original goal was to use it 3 times in 2 weeks, and instead I got 3 times in 3 weeks. However, I'm not unhappy with that, and I think it's something that I'll continue to get a lot of use out of, especially this fall and winter. This tends to not be quite as much of a spring-summer item for me. It's always felt a little bit witchy to me, which I really like, but not necessarily in spring. I pulled one eyeshadow palette, which is this e.l.f. Quad in Very Bad, and I think I actually used this probably 6 times. I think I did the math earlier. I think it was 6. Right around that many times anyway, over the past 3 weeks. However, I feel like I didn't I don't think I made a single look using just this palette. Most of the time what I did was I would blend a look that I was doing with other shadows out with this lightest shade, which is sort of a beigey pink. And occasionally I would, darken up a crease or outer corner with this dark red. I think this shade only got used once, and that was mixing it with a gray shade to recreate a shade from a palette that I was doing a tutorial on, and I'm not certain the shade got used at all, which I guess isn't that surprising. I mean, the quality on these bite-sized palettes is actually quite nice, but this shade pulls quite orangey on me, which just isn't always the vibe that I'm going for. I'll swatch the pink too so that you can see a comparison. Yeah, I feel like both of these come off more orange on me than they look in the pan. And that's actually a problem that I've had with another e.l.f. quad that I'm going to talk about in just a minute. I feel like this shade on my lid comes off the way I think this one should, based on what it looks like in the pan. They both have quite a bit more orange than I at least see when I'm looking at them, though I think in the viewfinder this is turning quite orange, so mystery solved on that one. I think this is a really nice little supplementary palette for me. However, I don't think it will ever become something where I'm super comfortable reaching for this palette and this palette alone day after day. It does make a very satisfying little click noise though. I appreciate that. Now, I pulled 2 lipsticks, a red and a nude. These are both from the Sephora line. I didn't technically pull the third of these minis that I have, which is, I believe the shade Black Cherry. It's a very deep red-based purple, super vampy. I did wear it though, which kind of surprised me. I kind of thought that that would be something I wore maybe 2 or 3 times quite late in the fall, but I did. I really liked it. I thought it was very pretty, and I wore both of these a few times as well. This is quite a bright red. I have a new sweater that I bought that has stripes that are almost exactly this color, so I really liked wearing it with that. And this is sort of a beigey mauve, almost nude color on me. It's super wearable. I feel like this goes with anything. It's just the lipstick that I tend to reach for when I feel like other things don't go with the look. Does that make sense? I feel like there are lipsticks that I enjoy wearing more. For example, this. However, once I'm done with my eyeshadow, I don't always feel like this bright of a pink is appropriate or really matches. So this ends up being the lipstick that I use when my eyes are a lot. And it's great for that purpose. And the formula on these is fairly weightless. I wouldn't say it feels like nothing on the lips, but it's fairly close. It's as close as I've experienced in a liquid lipstick. It does not wear particularly well throughout the day, but it's also not sticky. So there's a trade-off there I found between sticky and wear time, and I don't mind the trade-off with this. You will have to reapply after you eat, but I don't think you need to fully take off your lipstick and start fresh when you do reapply. So that's nice. And then the final item that I pulled was the OGX Coconut Shine Mist, I think. It definitely is coconut something, and I'm sure this is from Organics, but this lost its label many moons ago, and I haven't bothered to look up what it is again. I'm wearing this today. I do think it does a nice job of making my hair feel nice. I think that sometimes on camera it can look a tiny bit greasy. I don't feel like it looks greasy at all in person. I mean, I was just at the mirror fixing my hair before this and I didn't think it looked bad, but now in the viewfinder I'm wondering if it maybe does come off a little bit greasier. It smells really nice. I really have not used this a ton. I think I've only used it maybe 3 times over the past few weeks. And while I don't think this will ever be a true everyday product for me, I do think I want to keep it in my Shop My Stash for another couple of weeks just to see if I can make this a little bit more of a routine item to use, because I feel like if I put it back now, I would just forget about it within about 20 minutes. So we're going to keep that one out. And now let's get into the handful of other things that I've pulled from my Shop My Stash. Should we stick with the same order? Yeah, so let's go with jewelry first. Tiny little guys. I have these little square faux diamond studs. I just want to see if these are worth keeping around. I have another pair of studs that are actually a quite similar size, but they are less thick and they are round. And I've found myself wearing those a lot more over the, I don't know, 6 months or so that I've had them. These I don't feel like I've worn in quite a while, but I'm not ready to get rid of them yet. So I want to wear these a few times and just figure out if, yeah, if they're even worth keeping around. I think they're cute, but I just haven't worn them in literal years probably. So we're going to make a point of using those. One other pair of earrings are these orange dangly beaded ones. I actually have quite a few earrings, not exactly in this style, but very much from this era where the colorful drop earrings with beads were very much the thing. And I think it actually might have been long enough that that is starting to come back again. So, you know, if you just never get rid of anything, eventually you're on trend again. So I thought these were a really cute little color for fall, that I could get quite a bit of use out of them. And these are a nice length. These are not too extreme on me. And yeah, I think those will be great. Really like them. Looking forward to using them. I pulled a face mask. I just want to work through my face masks. This is the morning coffee one. A lot of my face masks come to me from my mom, who will get them occasionally in like a teacher gift. And I don't know how long she had this before she gave it to me or how long I've had it. So I think it's time. It needs to get used, move out of my collection before it goes bad, because I'm guessing that is in the near future. So as I mentioned earlier, I got some makeup just a couple weeks ago. One of those items was this e.l.f. foundation serum SPF 25 sunscreen with goji berry. It's a tinted moisturizer, and it is very liquidy, as the name would suggest, and it looks quite orange actually. I squirted out way too much. And I just want to get this product figured out. I am not in the habit of wearing foundation. I actually didn't own anything that could be considered a foundation until a week and a half ago. So I just want to see if this is something that should become part of my routine and play around with it. I think this might be a convenient way to get a little bit of coverage. I mean, a tiny bit of coverage. I think you can really only notice it on my skin in the areas where I've failed to blend it out very well. Is that very orange on me? Well, that's another thing that's worth figuring out. Does this just look orange on me? Always a noble goal. So yeah, I want to test this out a bit. I think I've only worn it once, maybe twice, and that's not adequate to figure out if I like it. Additionally, I bought this e.l.f. lip lacquer. This is in the shade Tea Rose. Give you a swatch of this one too. Probably on the other hand so that it's not overlapping lipstick. And in the original swatch, it looks very sort of grayish purple. On my lips, it goes on this color and then it wears down to be a little bit more pink, and I think quite flattering. I was actually wearing it earlier today and I was pretty happy with it. You know, after maybe 20 minutes, once I'd had some water, once I'd blotted it off a little bit, once it had just started to wear down the tiniest bit, I felt like it looked a lot more flattering than when I first put it on. However, I realized that it just didn't really go very well with everything else I had going. My eyeshadow is quite cool today. I don't know how well that's coming off, but the combination of the really cool eyeshadow, the really cool lipstick, the quite light top, it was just washing me out. So we switched to this brighter pink. And that's exactly what I want to learn. I want to know how this plays with certain eye looks. I know this is always going to be a little bit of a statement. I mean, the purple never really goes away, and I don't think ever owned a purple that I actually wore more than once or twice. So I wanna get this figured out. I want to figure out how to utilize this best. And then finally, I pulled two eyeshadow palettes. The first is the companion palette to the Very Bad that we were talking about earlier. This is Pumpkin Pie, which is another one of e.l.f.'s bite-sized palettes. And this is what I was talking about when I was saying that I felt like these shades pulled much warmer on me than they look in the pan. Let me give you a swatch of the two shimmers so you can see what I'm talking about. I mean, the shimmers are stunning. I mean, do you see the pigment on those? I mean, those are a thick swatch, but I didn't layer that up. I didn't mess with it in any way. It just looks like that. It's beautiful. But I feel like this one is just almost straight orange on me, and this one pulls even warmer on the eye, though I feel like it already looks a little bit warmer on the skin than it does in the pan. So I think that this is the right time of year to use this. I mean, we are in the middle to end of September as I'm filming this. I think today is the 22nd or 23rd. It'll probably be a few days later when this actually gets posted, but if I'm going to use this, and my counts that I've been doing for my Project 100 uses says that I haven't really, this is the time. I think I should be able to use this probably 5 times over the next 2 to 3 weeks. That seems like a good goal. 5 uses. And then I also pulled another eye palette that really does not go with the warmer side of this at all, but this is the NYX Ultimate Edit in Ash. And I know we've talked quite a bit about just wanting to figure out makeup, and this is a palette that I feel like I haven't really figured out. I use really these 3 shades quite a bit. I like this dark silver. It's got quite a bit of sparkle. It comes off almost more as sparkle than a shade. It's right there. And I use this very light shade quite a bit. And I do like this purple. But I feel like I just have not, again, figured out these 3 colors. I don't know that I've ever used this dark blue on the eyes more than once, maybe twice tops. And I think that's a shame. It's a very pretty color. It's something I want to get good use out of. So I want to use this as well, probably 5 times over the next couple of weeks. And I want to specifically use one of these 3 shades 5 times over the next couple of weeks. So I think I have set a lofty goal for myself as far as eyeshadow usage goes. However, I think everything else should be very doable. I don't know if my next update will be in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks, but you know, if you've subscribed, then you'll see it either way. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will consider liking and subscribing if you did. Thank you again for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!